Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Luluando Tukwayo, aka Lu Mommy, and I am back. I'm back on YouTube. It has been a while. I can't believe I waited for all this time to come back, but here I am, Dibuyile Bandase, and today is a special day because I come here with a message of hope, restoration, faith, and putting action into your faith. I have my guest today. Her name is Nonchu Tukwayo Ngudabsobandana, my sister-in-law. And, I've been wanting to bring her here, but it has just been, one of those kids, family, busy. But today we are here and I can't wait to tell you guys about her story it's just something precious to my heart. And, I'm a mom, so any mom content will do, honey. Welcome, Nonchu Tukwayo. So, Nonchu, thank you so much for coming to my channel and sharing your story. I know it's a precious story to you as well. So I think you should do the honors and introduce yourself formally.
Yeah. All right. My name is Nonchu Tukwayo. This has been a bit of a challenge to finally come here, but I'm excited to share my story because I know a lot of women out there who have similar challenges or who just don't know what to do, where they're at in their lives. And there's so much information, but sometimes it's not available. So this is my way of contributing to information being available to whoever needs to hear this. So yes, thank you for dragging me.
I've been dragging her. I've been dragging her because I know that this story will change so many women's lives, and I am all about women. Come on, it's August.
Yes.
It's Women's Month. Yeah. So what better time than now to share this story?
Yeah.
But I actually want to talk about your career. Guys, unonju, hey, this woman. So what people don't know about you is what you've achieved in your career and what you've I mean, how many countries you've been to, and how driven you were. And without saying too much, because I'm gonna say the story from my from my angle. Can you tell us about your story as a career driven Black woman, and yeah.
Okay, so I started off 100 years ago, I usually say, in Johannesburg. I have a degree in computer science. And I've been working in the telecoms and IT space. And it's a space that not a lot of women, specifically Black women, you find a lot of us there. I'm actually very used to sitting in a boardroom and there's just me alone. And over the years in my career, it's always been like that, and I'm okay with that now. But I mean, it's something that needs to change. Anyway, I've been working in the IT, telecoms, and fintech space for the past 20 years. And through that, working for international companies, I got to travel the world. I've been to actually
how many countries?
34 countries.
I mean 34 countries, and you've stayed in some of these countries?
In 3 countries in total.
Okay, yeah.
The rest of them, it was either a visit or work or holiday. But I've lived in 3 countries: in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe, and in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Talk about world globe trotting days.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. So in terms of your career, I know you held a very high a senior position. Yeah. And how was it as a Black woman? And also, I mean, at some point, your peers are probably getting married and starting families. What was
the drive behind? Yeah. Okay. I would say, I did not set and make a plan that I'm going to be a career woman. I will not focus on, for instance, having kids or having family. I think it was just, I was present in my career, obviously, and I grew and I had all these opportunities. I mean, it it was really nice to grow in a workspace because you contribute towards the growth of a company, the economy of the country, and certainly we get benefits as an individual because you get paid very well. When I was traveling the world, I used to, as an expat, you get paid very well, and that contributes to your well-being. You know, I know, I know we say generally you don't work for money, but when you spend your time and your know-how in doing your job and getting paid, it's good that thing for yourself. For instance, though the salary has allowed, and of course with investment, me to go through a fertility journey, which is very expensive, and not a lot of people get access to that. And for me, through my work and my travels working in these countries, I've managed to, you know, invest my salary, which when the time came, obviously I didn't know that, but I know now that those investments were to help me, you know, in my journey.
So tell me, how did you? So you basically, so the non-show I remember, you were still career driven. You were this woman with multiple properties.
Yes.
You were. I mean, those are the only investments I know. Of course, I won't get into your personal bank details, but but I mean, you did invest, and then of course you were able to now take the money you invested in your career. I mean, I know you also as someone who was very financial
astute.
Yeah,
That's the word.
Yeah. So tell me, when did the whole babies thing come now? Here you are, successful. The last time I remember, you were, I think you were in Joburg, and I mean, I knew you as Dabs and you were always, you know, the next investment or the next property,
or the next country to visit.
The next country to visit.
True. So again, as I said, I don't think, I think generally in life, I think you would attest to that. Some of the opportunities and the thoughts and the things that come to you, you don't really plan. But an opportunity comes and you're like, oh, here's an opportunity, let me like follow up on it. So same applies with my fertility journey. I honestly never thought that I'll get to a point where I do IVF. So even in my 40s, when I wasn't married with no kids, truly speaking, I never thought that that was a problem. Until one day, I was sitting in my office, minding my own business. In fact, I was in a job that wasn't really that challenging. So I had like all the time to think about all sorts of things, the meaning of life.
Yes.
So the thought just came, hold on, what's going to be my life? Of course, I worked, I traveled, I earned money, I've got these properties, I've got these things. And then, you know, I couldn't answer, you know, and then what? That's when I started thinking, oh, well, it would be nice to have kids. I mean, not that I was actively not trying to have kids, but I wasn't actively trying at the same time. Because again, I'm a late bloomer. At 43, 45, I honestly felt I was young. So I didn't think, you know, it wasn't going to happen. So yeah, at 47, I think, I was like, hold on, what's happening here?
At 47, you had that conversation with yourself.
Myself. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wow.
I mean, you know, and that's the day I truthfully took action, you know, took matters into my hands. Like, no, let's do something. Let's do something about this situation.
Information out there is like, anything after 40 is impossible, first of all. And
40, they say 36.
They say 36.
Yes.
Well, in my, you see, so anything after a certain age, there's no ways, whether you're married, whether you're single. And I know a lot of women, I'm sure they want to pursue, they want to do things that, you know, make them happy at that point in their lives, and maybe think about kids later. So were you aware of all the misconceptions and the information that's out there that's not necessarily true when it comes to conceiving after a certain age? Or what?
No. I believe if you do not do the research, you will get the narrative that's out there, whether it's wrong or right. you have to, as an individual, do the research yourself for your own situation. First thing I did, which I would recommend anyone, is to go to a doctor. Just get a sense of where you're at, because also they could examine you to check, what if let's say if you've been trying. I wasn't. If you've been trying and you've been struggling, get a doctor. They can check what's happening with your partner, and advise you the possible ways, because it's not just IVF. There's a lot of
course,
artificial insemination, or sometimes some people are not even aware that you have to count, like your number of days before you do ovulation. There's ways to test your ovulation. There's lots of information, but I feel that when you go to a doctor, a qualified person, at least it's an initial step in getting introduced to what's possible.
Okay, so talking about, finding information, doing your research, consulting a doctor, I remember you also had fibroids.
Okay, so in consulting and getting checked, yes, they discovered that I had fibroids that were so big as a tennis ball, actually.
Was this before? So was this during the process? Now you deciding
now
to
I've decided I'm gonna have kids.
Okay.
And the first thing, as I've said, is to go to a doctor and check up. So in the checkup, you're like, "Whoa, what is happening here?" Big as a tennis ball. So yeah, they discovered that. And obviously, as the reason why you go for checkup is to make sure that your body is in perfect condition. And obviously you need your womb to carry a child, so it must be also in perfect condition. That's when they discovered the fibroid. And so I went for an operation, and they removed that. Ooh, it was scary. But really, honestly, I think more than the specifics in this whole journey, the mindset is very important as to where your mindset is at. If you've made up your mind, you know what you're doing is the right thing for you, and it's your heart's desires, you must follow that. So there were many stumbling blocks in my journey, many. Even
because you started when you were 47 with the whole process, even the mindset.
Yes.
Now I want to have a child.
Yes.
I know you had your babies.
Yes. I was pregnant at 49. I gave birth when I had just turned 50. So yeah, fibroids was a big thing, but honestly, for me, I knew that the end of this whole journey is at least one child.
Yeah, I remember
at
the
least
day
one offspring.
We were told about the other child.
Yes.
So here you are, you've discovered the fibroids.
Yes.
The fibroids are now out, and you recover. I remember you had that up here in Cape Town. You talk about the mindset so much. I want you to tell me about that mindset.
For me, when I refer to the mindset, is being resolute in wanting, in doing whatever is necessary to get what you want. I know there's a lot of women also who've gone through this journey, ended up with nothing. But I've always told myself, even the day I decided my story is not going to be, she lived, she got properties, she did globe trotting, and that's the end of it. Even on that day, I was like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. I would rather pour my money, pour myself, go through these ops, do all sorts of these things, inject needles on me, and not get a child after that. But at the end of that, I would have known that I have done what I could. So this is, I think, the message I want to bring to women, old, young, challenged, in general, not necessarily fertility in general. So talking about mindset is to say, what is at my disposal? What can I use to achieve my heart's desire, and do that? The fibroids, and I was like, I'm resolute. And after doing that, you have to wait for like 3 to 6 months, and I'm running out of time. What do you mean?
I'm turning 50 soon.
And in South Africa, IVF is not afforded to women who are older than 50. 50 is a cutoff point. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So 50, here you are
50 is a
rushing
cutoff
against
point.
time. So don't you remove the fibroids and
Yes.
everything is good to go?
Yes.
You go through your IVF
Yes.
and what support structure did you have?
Yeah.
And what support structure would you recommend for other women?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so for in general, for Black women, there isn't a lot of support structure because it is fertility, any sexual related thing, including fertility, or rather most of fertility, you would know this. It's not a topic that we talk about, and that's not right, because you find someone in a corner there who has the resources. In this case, perhaps resources is money, or sometimes people are married and they've been trying to have kids, but there isn't information, you know, and people go through 40s, 50s, people who are 39, they feel they're old and there's nothing that they can do. There's no information around IVF or around just assisted reproductive methods out there. So really the information wasn't that available, but I keep going back. Once I started doing the research, I actually realized there's groups that you can be part of where you can get information. That's number one. Number two, the route I took, which is IVF, requires a lot of money. Young Black females, some of them do have the money.
Okay.
It's just that
true
the
that.
information is not
True
there.
that, yes.
The information is not there.
Yeah.
So really, I encourage anyone who is young, reproductive or fertility challenges, or just old, thinking that, oh, my time has passed. There are ways and means to do these things. There's ways and means to do these things. It's out there. Research. So my support system was, I mean, even my family, lots of my family members, including, did not know.
No, we didn't. Oh my gosh, we did not know.
It's sensitive. I would understand when why people don't talk. It's sensitive. It's very sensitive. I mean, to talk about things like this in the public. But I think it's important, though. People who are in my situation should not struggle with information like I did. That's really what I want to make people aware that there are ways and means to have kids even when you're 50.
Even when you are 50, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Even when you are 50, and here you are. So now you fall pregnant after. The process. We won't get into it. Countless injections. And you changed your diet, didn't you?
Oh no, I did. My doctor used to say we need to make sure that the oven is hot enough. It's hot enough to bake very well. So yeah, I had to change my diet. I had to constantly visit doctors because it's a long process of you have to make sure that you harvest the eggs, make sure that they get fertilized outside of you, and when they are 5 days, embryos, when they're 5 days, then they can be transferred back to you. This is where now you want to make sure that the oven is warm enough. And for that you need to be you need to be in optimal health. You need to be physically optimal health. Health-wise, you must be right. Your mindset must be right. I actually, in IVF they call them cycles. I actually did 2 cycles before I did my 3rd one, which was the one that was successful. I did 2 cycles in Johannesburg and they were not successful, and that thing crushes you. Really crushes you, because you start thinking, oh, the amount of money I've spent and I come out with nothing. 2 times, but then
then third time
lucky, and the 3rd time, remember, I'm 49.
That
was my last chance.
My goodness, God is good.
No, absolutely. And also that cycle, I wasn't sure because it was in the middle of COVID. I was in Cape Town. I had lost my job. It's in the middle of COVID. There was just too much going on. I was like, is this the right thing? Maybe I'm not meant to have kids. Is this the right thing to do? You know, and the money, I've spent so much money. Now I'm going to spend more money on this. You know, it was like literally my last. But then, I mean, going back to what we were talking about when I said one must go to see a doctor and find a doctor that that would be comfortable with, and also that you feel that they understand you, they can carry you, because sometimes it's not, the doctors are not just performing medical procedures on you, they also carry you. My doctor at least did carry you, support you, buy into what you are doing, you know. So I met a good doctor here in Cape Town.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about the importance of finding a doctor that speaks your language. Finding a doctor that's not going to say, oh no, but you are 49, you old. Like, for me, I think that would just be let's not even, because you know your age.
Yes.
You don't, you know how, for someone to remind
yes,
you.
Absolutely.
So just finding that doctor, and you found that doctor.
I did. Oh, a wonderful black lady who's been practicing. Yes, who's been practicing. She was actually a head of fertility department at Whaaat Hospital for a very long time. But now she was doing her own private practice. Actually, after I gave birth, and so I was sort of telling her that, oh, I've given birth. And she's like, you know, when the first time you came into my room, I rolled up my sleeves. I took you as a challenge, and I don't know how to say this in English. That's lashlela into the whole thing. And really, honestly, the treatment I didn't need her to say that. I saw the treatment that she gave me. She was carrying me. She was really carrying me. She did a lot of tests that were not done in Johannesburg, for instance, which sort of helped me actually to the cycle to be successful. So yes, I go there. And I get pregnant. You've done the embryo transfer. You then wait for 10 days so that you can go and test. They do a blood test to see if you're pregnant or not. During that time, man, I cannot tell you the number of times I spoke to myself in the shower, when I was alone, just speaking positively. I actually used to say to myself, what I used to say was, I am healthy, I am strong. My babies are growing. They are healthy and they are strong. I used to repeat this all the time. I am happy and I'm healthy. My babies are growing, they're healthy and they're strong. And mind you, this is now before I discovered that I was carrying twins.
Oh, yes. You spoke about babies. I was going to ask, because the twins, you don't.
But I transferred 2 embryos, and both of them into my twins. So there was a bit of that. That's why I was convinced. But more than that, as I've already told you, it's not a showcase that you get twins.
You get them.
But for me, I knew if any of them is sticking, both of them will. Because again, as my doctor was saying, if the womb is checked and you did what is necessary for the womb to be hot, chances are both of them will stick. So they did. So I used to talk to myself, my babies are growing, my babies are strong. And then I could not, a lot of women struggle with this. I couldn't wait for the 10 days. It was too long.
And did you buy that pregnancy test? And then
really, honestly, Lwando, when I saw those 2 lines, I was like, of course. I didn't even scream. I was like,
you knew.
Of course.
You felt it.
2 days later, I went to test, and the doctor confirmed. Now the doctor was like, you're too old. I don't want you to have 2 kids. I want you to have just a kid, and I want you to be pregnant, and everything must go well.
Because now with twins, it kind of puts you, you know.
Yes.
Ah, my goodness.
Yes.
And then you go to the doctor, and of course she confirmed, it's now twins.
No.
How does that mean? Oh, not yet.
No. So the blood test just tells you, I've forgotten the HCG, I think. It's whatever the number is. Mine was high. She tells me later, I was like, oh, I knew. Oh, this is not what I want for you, but I knew when the numbers were high as twins. Me, I didn't know this. I didn't have that information. So about a week or so after that, then I went for my first scan. this doctor, then she goes, oh, I knew it. Now what? Then I said, oh, look, it's twins. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. All of it really, honestly, I was like, for me, it was like, yeah, of course. Like the pregnancy, yeah, of course. The fact that it was confirmed that it's twins, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you were ready.
You know,
you were ready for that. So here you are pregnant now, and you are pregnant with twins. How was the pregnancy journey?
37th week, 37 and 3 days. So almost 38 weeks, and 38 weeks is a bar for twins. They don't want you to go beyond that, unless of course you're doing natural birth. Then whenever they come, but most of the twins, they come at 38th week. So I delivered 37 days, 37 weeks, 3 days. And my kids were fine, were healthy. We were at the hospital for 3 days. I came out, everyone came home with me. Fortunately, my kids were really big. Not big, but they were big for twins. They came home with me 3 days.
So you give birth to 2 beautiful baby girls.
Yes.
And you name them. Take us through the names.
The naming, yeah.
And then Savannah and Willow, because I also love the other names.
Yes, those ones then. Savannah came in a dream. I was advised not to proceed with that name, but the way it came, I was like, there's no way I'm losing this name. It's Savannah. It means it's an African savanna. It's a plain where animals cross through and they get nourished with the few shrubs that are in a savanna. And then Willow, it's a willow tree. I love willow tree. Willow tree. A willow tree grows in a place where there's a lot abundant water. And it gives shade, and it sings, and it's strong.
That is beautiful.
Yes.
This is such a beautiful story. Yes. Oh my goodness. And I am so happy that you finally came on to. Thank you so much. I want to bring the twins.
Yes.
Can I bring the twins?
Let's do that. Then, hello, Wee Wee. Hello, Wee. This is Willow. Butiko.
Yes.
These are my beautiful babies, y'all.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I believe that Unonju will be doing more of these talks, but let's see. Yeah, I believe that it doesn't need to end here. You need to empower more women. You need to tell your story to more women. In any platform you get, this is the message we need. This is the information we need. Thank you so much. Say bye.
Bye.